So, how long are we going to take it? How long are we going to take it? Because the next thing they'll start doing is sorting out the food. What can put people under more dependency than the state controlling food? And you know, I'll tell you where this is going. I've said this before, but this is where it's going. They're moving eventually into a situation where food as we've known it will go. It will be synthetic food. You know, all these attacks on meat and stuff and all these different ways of food, it's a stepping stone. It's the totalitarian tiptoe. What industry has been destroyed as much as any in the world as a result of this lockdown? Restaurants and etc. And they're not meant to exist in the long term because they want to control food. Because if they control food, they control you. Because if you don't do what you said, you don't get any food. This is where we're going, and ultimately to the AI connection to the human brain, where we won't even be thinking our own thoughts anymore. AI will be doing our thinking for us.
Is that through the nanotechnology in the vaccine?
I mean, but they're telling us, Brian. This guy, Ray Kurzweil, another bleeding psychopath, in Silicon Valley, a Google executive, he says by 2030, humans will start to have their brains connected to AI. And these are his words, not mine. When that happens, AI will do more and more of human thinking until eventually human thinking as we know it will be virtually negligible. There his words, I summarize. Now, we have a guy called Elon Musk. I did mention he was a psychopath, didn't I? And he came out some years ago, you might remember, said, AI could be the end of humanity. Yeah, right. And you know that. And so what does he do? He starts a company called Neuralink to connect the human brain to computers, right? Mm-hmm. And he also runs this SpaceX organization putting the satellites up, but he also runs Tesla cars, right? And they're electric cars, right? Electric cars. Why, British government's just done it, why are they phasing out petrol cars and diesel cars? Because where they're going is autonomous vehicles where the computer will decide where you can go. Petrol car, you get in it, you drive where you want to go. When you're in an autonomous car, you will go only to the limits that the computer will take the car. And those computers will be encoded so that you go nowhere the government doesn't want you to go. And now, these autonomous cars, and you know these smart motorways that they're building in Britain, they call them smart motorways, very dangerous, killing a lot of people, but they don't care, they're psychopaths. The reason they're building these smart motorways is for autonomous vehicles. Uber, another Silicon Valley company, it's losing phenomenal amounts of money in its global taxi business because money no object. Money no object. Money was no object for Amazon when it was losing unbelievable amounts of money as it was getting a bigger and bigger monopoly. And of course, as a result of this lockdown, its market share globally is going to be vastly larger with all the businesses destroyed than it was before. So Uber, its business model is autonomous vehicles, autonomous, quote, taxis. So all this money's being pumped in, money no object, doesn't matter how much you're losing. And what they're doing to get that monopoly is they're destroying taxi businesses all over the world so they have the monopoly. What has this lockdown done? It's devastated the taxi business, but not Uber. And so you can't have autonomous cars and petrol cars and diesel cars. So they're phasing out petrol and diesel on this ludicrous idea that humans are causing climate change, which is another 1% hoax run by computer models out of the same people that are running the computer models of the so-called virus. The autonomous vehicles are run by electricity. So the electric cars, it's to save the environment. are merely the stepping stone to electrical autonomous vehicles. And Musk knows that.